Here's Scola, the former Pacer, taking on his old team. DeRozan being guarded by Paul George. 5 on the shot clock. That mid-range game is DeRozan's strength. He misfires on the first one, Doris. Here's DeRozan working against Paul George.
Let's watch Paul George in a pick and roll. Just gets hung up briefly on the screen. Doesn't give up on the play mark. Just continues to battle. Gets a piece. And that gets him out into semi-transition.
See Powell, the rookie out of UCLA, limping. DeRozan working against Paul George. And that's going to be an offensive foul against DeMar DeRozan.
Watch the youngster, Powell.
But mostly it's a comfort level these Raptors have. They know who they are individually and as a group. They're comfortable in your own skin is a phrase you'll hear a lot with these Raptors. A franchise that's never won a best-of-7 playoff series. Kyle Lowry says mentally he's a whole different person this postseason. The mentality of these Raptors guys, just win a playoff series.
And Lowry is real struggling to start game 1 here. Paul George, meanwhile, missing the layup. James Harden tried to make a layup. George went up to block it, landed badly, and literally snapped his leg in 2 near the ankle. And through some arduous and determined rehab, he's back on the court and playing really elite level basketball. Reset on the shot clock. DeMar Carroll was the major acquisition from Masai Ujiri, the GM, during the offseason as DeRozan falls with the basketball. And he's tied up by the Pacers, Paul George and Miles Turner. But
I know it's a hockey town, but no Canadian team in the NHL playoffs this year for the first time in 46 years. You see the scene outside of Air Canada Center. These people are passionate about their Raptors.
DeRozan from the baseline gets another opportunity. Paul George hasn't had his best shooting day so far either, just 2 of 8. The Pacers has never led in this game. Been tied 3 times. Biyombo. We are tied at 45, just underway here in the 3rd quarter. A sold-out Air Canada Center, game 1, Pacers and Raptors. And DeRozan went into a lot of traffic and lost the handle. DeRozan out to Scola. DeRozan. Powell tripped up. Valanciunas thought about it. DeRozan one-on-one against Paul George. 10 on the shot clock for Lowry, who backs it out. Valanciunas wearing that protective wrap on his left hand. That's the hand that he broke earlier this season. DeRozan, whistle, and an offensive foul. Good defense by Paul George. It was interesting, Paul George told us he didn't think he was back to the level where he was defensively before, but you couldn't tell by that sequence, Doris.
Well, that's anticipation. He's got great length. Good. He did not think laterally he was as explosive, but that's just textbook defense.
Left the floater short, but got the rebound. DeRozan for 3. Battle underneath. 14 points in the 3rd quarter for Paul George. Carroll drive and kick. DeRozan with a long 2. Scoring. Chris Bosh, of course, the leading scorer.
Well, that was very Vince-like.
Yes. George with the steal. And he slams it home. A 16-point 3rd quarter for Paul George, who seems to have exercised his demons against this Raptors team. 20 3rd quarter points. 10 on the shot clock. Good defense by the Pacers. George forces a tough turnaround, and DeMar found it at the other end. The Pacers, who missed the playoffs last season, back in a big way, and they take game 1, 100-90 behind Paul George. Their all-NBA player who had 33 points in the game. The majority coming in the second half. 27 in the second half.
5 assists. He had 6 assists on the night, 5 in the second half. He just picked this team apart, Mark.